Good morning, my mirror heroes. I hope you all slept well. Unfortunately, we had construction going on right outside our window here in New York City. I can tell already that I've still got lots of work to do to get myself ready for the day. Since this is actually day 2 of our snowstorm, I'm making it a pajama day. I may go out to Whole Foods, or should I say Whole Paycheck, but I may go to just pick up a few snacks and stuff, because we got to hunker down. And then, of course, I need to take out Winnie, who has not been loving the snow. All bets were off. She refuses to walk. She goes completely limp. And then because she's wearing a little puffer harness, I basically have to helicopter her into patches of snow that are hard enough that she doesn't sink in because she's so short. She's only a foot tall, so we got to be understanding and patient. So we're just going to make it a pajama day. I'm going to go over my skincare. I'm noticing that actually all the redness and the sensitivity that I had from a few days ago has really almost all but gone away. Shout out to all of my hero ingredients in last night's skincare routine. So what we're going to do is just put on our skincare for the day. My usual routine, because I shower at night, is I brush my teeth and I like to put a hot towel compress over my face just to give it a fresh start, a tabula rasa, clean slate for the rest of my skincare for the morning. It just takes off all of the previous skincare that I applied from the night before, and it gives me just a fresh start, and it feels so good. So it actually works out perfectly because first I roll up my washcloth after I've washed it. It is quite wet, as you can see, so I wring it out, and then if you can see here, there's a little loop-de-loop hoop, and I roll it up so that way the loop is just on the outside. And this, I believe, is like a baby washcloth, so you can find them anywhere. Of course, I'll have the link to it for Amazon. And I love that it's purple because it matches my little purple steamer baby top. And I place it inside. I apply the top. And for the exact amount of time that it takes for my little hot towel to heat up is the exact amount of time that it takes for me to brush my teeth and floss and do my little mouthwash. I will turn on my little steamer baby and I will get to work. I'm going to zoom through this so you don't have to watch me brush my teeth. I think everyone knows how it's done. Okay, and we're done. And right about this time, my little hot towel is ready to go. So I will turn it off. Now, I take off the top really careful because I don't want to get scalded by the hot steam. And then I it's just a metal chopstick that I got on Amazon. But I absolutely love it because what I do is I take the little metal chopstick and that loop that I was referring to before, I use to pick up my hot towel. I air it out a little bit because as you can see, it is quite steamy. And I just place it over my face and that kind of serves as my face wash because I have pretty dry skin. Oh, it feels so good. So I don't need a face wash in the morning. I feel like if you have oilier skin, then you might need that process. But I just wipe it over my face, make sure I get off all the lotions and the potions from the night before. Just wipe that off, get the sleep out of my eyes because, oh my gosh, that construction was just miserable last night. So I'm playing injured today, guys, in more ways than one. So I always, both day and night, start my skincare routine with an essence. This is the Tatcha essence, and I use them typically because I tend to either apply eye masks or a face mask in the morning while I'm making myself my coffee and feeding and walking my pup Winnie. So that way I'm kind of multitasking and I'm able to give a little extra love to whatever needs the most attention for the day. So I guess my argument is that if you're trying to add more moisture, hydration to your face in one area, the last thing you want to do is deprive the rest of your face with hydration for that period of time. And because I'm a little bit tired and exhausted and I really need the help today on my eyes, I'll be using a heavy hitter, which is the Talika eye therapy patches. And these you apply for 30 minutes. And so I am going to take them out of their packaging. They're so cute. I'm kind of obsessed with them. So it was really important that I applied the essence because for 30 minutes, if the rest of my skin is just going to be so dehydrated, I feel like it defeats the purpose. So we want to love our entire face. We only have one, guys, so gotta be loving and gentle to it every day. And so I'm gonna apply that. I'm going to set my phone for 30 minutes. And before I do that, I'm actually gonna go in with the Violette Balm Amour because your lips need hydration too. You gotta protect the pucker. And I will be making myself some coffee. I will be walking Winnie, and I will meet you right back here in a jiffy. See you soon.
Hi everyone! Happy Pajama Day! My name is Winnie, and I'm the Mini Mirror Hero. And I'm also a New York City dog, which means that I'm just like a regular dog, only cooler. So, if you think any of the products that my mom talks about today are also pretty cool, she will include it in the description box below with our Tiddlywinks. Oh wait, not Tiddlywinks. Affiliate links! Which means that if you use those links below to make a purchase at no cost to you, it really helps us to support our channel. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!
Hello, my mirror heroes. Okay, I'm back. I have walked and fed Winnie. Most importantly, I made my coffee. Hold on one second. Okay, I feel good. And we are going to move on to the rest of our skincare routine. And one cool thing about these Talika eye patches is that they're actually reusable up to 3 times. So when I take them off, because this was their first use, so I put them back onto their little sheet that came with it, and I put them aside and put them back into their little pouch for the next time that I use them. So I'll probably use them tomorrow morning too. And it's just always good to find something reusable or biodegradable or sustainable because beauty has a plastic problem. And that's just kind of the way things are. But if we can do our part just a little bit, that's always a good thing. So the next thing we're going to do is, of course, use our vitamin C. Because my face has been a little bit sensitive as of late, I'm actually just going to use the serum from Ursa Major. It really makes my skin feel good as opposed to being a super strong active, and I don't want my face to freak out. So we're just going to take it easy today, and then we're going to go in with, this is by Violette FR, and it's the Reactive Skin Rescue Serum, and it's super tiny. It comes in this little tiny bottle. It's really cute, but I always try to put something soothing onto my skin, especially when it needs a little bit of a boost. And my skin, especially around my chin, has just become so dry, flaky. I can feel it when I talk. It was so terrible what happened. And I still am not even sure exactly what happened, but either way, we're going to go in then with the Take Back Time Eye Cream by Trini London. And I like this because while it's a thick formula, it goes on really smooth and it does not pill under makeup. Now, I don't think I'm really going to be wearing an extensive amount of makeup today because it is day 2 of our New York City snowstorm. So aside from walking Winnie, I'm really not going to go very far. This may be my outfit for the day, but my sister is actually working from home today. And we're kind of looking forward to it. We may cook a little something and just hunker down. But typically, when my sister and I were both living in New York City, we actually really loved to go out and do New York City things. In particular, I happen to love going to see Broadway shows. And I was just thinking about it as I was getting ready, but we saw this show, must have been about 10 years ago already, but it was a musical called War Paint. And War Paint described the, I guess, frenemy relationship between two major beauty moguls. They were Elizabeth Arden and Helena Rubinstein. And this was in the 1930s to the 1960s. And it was just so interesting to see not only their completely different takes on beauty, but just the glass ceilings that they had to shatter, because up until Elizabeth Arden and Helena Rubinstein came onto the scene, there were no women executives, founders in beauty. And so this was so unique, and they received so much pushback. And so not only was it them against the world, but they were fighting with each other. They were super successful and brilliant, intelligent women. And they basically fought their entire career, step by step, beauty product by beauty product, to get their companies to where they are today. Now, Helena Rubinstein is not as common a name, obviously, as Elizabeth Arden. But at the time, between the 30s to the 60s, those were the hugest names in the beauty space. And the fact that they were founded by women, for women, was just such a revolutionary undertaking. And we really need to tip our hats to them. Because when I think about all the female-founded, brand-owned companies in the beauty space, I don't know if any of that could have been done without the work and the progress made by Elizabeth Arden and Helena Rubinstein. So speaking of a female-founded brand, this is from Educated Mess. It is their Lash and Brow Enhancing Serum. And I just use it a little bit over my eyebrows because I don't want little Grinch eyebrows. I just want it to fill out on top and then right at the start of my eyebrows because it's a little thin. I just started using this, so I really can't say how effective it is, but I'll use this every day. And I'm kind of excited because I do have very thin eyebrows, and that's always kind of been a pain point for me. So I'm really excited, and I hope I see good things and good results. So after that, we are going to go in with the last step. It's our sunscreen, and that's from Round Lab SPF 50 PA+++++. But back to Elizabeth Arden and Helena Rubinstein. Every time I am able to try new brands and new products, I really think all the way back to that time when Elizabeth Arden and Helena Rubinstein were just starting out. And I imagine them because they had very different concepts, very different ideas about how they wanted to present their beauty products. Elizabeth Arden touted more of an upper class, elevated experience. When you bought one of her products, you were transported to a lifestyle that most women really were not accustomed to, and they flocked to her products for either comfort or inspiration or just a fantasy escape. Helena Rubinstein was quite different. She really pushed on the science of skincare, the power of beauty. And she was incredibly intelligent, but really had more of an austere type look versus an Elizabeth Arden who kind of touted more of a soft life experience. So they really pulled from completely different customer bases, but they achieved very similar things. And so when I think about them, especially in the beginning where they were surrounded by and worked with just men, I mean, they were the only women in their field, let alone in executive level positions. And so back to that Broadway play, it was called War Paint because I just envision Elizabeth Arden, Helena Rubinstein getting in front of their mirror every day applying their skincare, applying their makeup as if it was war paint because they had to go to battle every single day. Every win was hard fought and hard won. And I think as women, we really need to appreciate that because we are standing on the shoulders of giants. A lot of us are in fields that were typically male-dominated. I myself, I worked in finance for almost 20 years. Now I think we've made incredible strides, but when I think about the women in leadership that really paved the way for us, I think a lot of times it's something I reflect on, especially when I'm getting ready in the morning. Because Helena Rubinstein and Elizabeth Arden literally lived out their wildest dreams. They didn't know how successful they were going to be in the beginning, right? They didn't know that they were going to touch so many lives across the world. When I'm applying my skincare, I think to myself, what kind of contributions am I going to make in this world? And not necessarily that they're going to be so big or so monumentous, but I think just affecting people and really touching the lives of others, whether it be in your circle, your universe, throughout your day, it doesn't matter. But it all begins with getting ready in the morning. What is that saying? Everyone puts on their pants one leg at a time, right? Well, I feel like every woman washes their face and applies their skincare in the morning, just like every other woman out there, no matter how big, how small, and how wonderful you are. Okay, one more sip. May or may not remove my headband. I'm kind of digging this. I like this little teddy bear motif. To all my mirror heroes out there, I love you.